On this episode of the Infowars News, FBI arrests Muslims for female genitalia mutilation. France votes for new president amidst high security, and socialist mayor calls apparent voters a-hole. That and a lot more, so stay tuned. For the final week of April the 24th, 2017, this is the first article of the day here. This article written by Kate Daniels. The title is called FBI Arrests Muslims During Female Genital Mutilation Clinic Bust. Under this, it says Islamic Law Spreading in U.S. 3 Muslims were charged with performing female genital mutilations on young girls in the Detroit area. Dr. Farouk Attar, 53, and his wife, Farlada Attar, 50, were arrested by federal officers the past week at their medical clinic in Loveland, Michigan, outside of Detroit. And sorry if I screwed up the name and the Muslim's name, because I'm not. This is a dry run here, folks. Jarmina Nakawaka, a 44-year-old emergency room physician, was also arrested. All three of them have ties to the Damwoodley Barasa, an Islamic sect which advocates surgically removing the clitoris from girls as young as 6 to suppress their sexuality. The practice, however, is internationally recognized as a violation of human rights. Tell that to them. An increased number of females in the Muslim community worldwide have begun speaking publicly about the FGM and the effects it has on them and their families, said FBI Special Agent Kevin J. Swanson in his advocacy. Many describe pain during the procedure and a variety of effects on their physical and mental health later in life. The Trump Department of Justice acted swiftly in the case. Female genitalia constitutes a particular brutal form of violence against women and girls. It's also a serious felony in the United States, and said acting U.S. Attorney Daniel Liscombe. The practice has no place in modern society, and those who perform FGM on minors will be held accountable. Now, under federal law. Now, folks, I'm going to have Alex Jones speak about this right now.
We just had these doctors arrested here mutilating little girls, reportedly, in the United States. Well, they're promoting Hillary's assistant and girlfriend's mother's the most famous Islamic woman, writing books about mutilating women and how it must be done, literally cutting their genitals off. A lot of ignorant people say, how do you cut a woman's genitals off? Real easy. Woman has genitals. Dumbasses, excuse me. Really makes me mad. And I'm not patronizing the women. It makes me mad. You know, as a man, seeing women gets me angry. Women and children, women and children get to the lifeboats first.
Okay, thank you. Article goes on to say here that basically it's one of the primary reasons why critics suggest radical Muslim not just a religion, but it's an ideology that is compatible with Western society and U.S. constitutional law. And basically that's just what they're saying. It's not compatible with nothing. I mean, these guys take over everything. And yet we're going to let these guys in here to take over our country? Hell no! No! A bunch of freaks. I mean, really? Come on. Leave us alone. You can't do that in this country. Country here, alright? You gonna get your head beaten just like that. Alright? So keep your mitts off our women and don't try to cut off their clitorises. I mean, they want to feel their to their pleasure, if you get my drift, right, folks? Anyway, here's the second article. This is an article written from the BBC, which was linked by Infowars.com. The article is titled "France Votes for New President Amidst High Security." Amidst high security, and basically, folks, that the vote was already taking place. So I'll get more of that in a minute. Voters are going to the polls on France to choose their next president amidst high security following a deadly attack on Paris, France 3 days ago. Amidst 50,000 police and 50,000 police and 700,000 soldiers have been deployed across the country to secure polling. Even candidates are vying to be the next president, with candidates spanning the political spectrum. If expected, no one wins 50%. The two with the most votes will go to a runoff round in a fortnight time. Polling stations in France open at 8 p.m. local time, 6 o'clock GBM. Although some overseas territories began voting on Tuesday. And here's how it covered here. The candidates, I mean, look at this. We're expecting this guy to lose, but one of these guys to lose, but technically he got through anyway. The candidates have created plenty of debate in the country, all offering diplomacy the dramatically different versions of Europe, immigration, and the economy, and French identity. And I'm just gonna stop right here because I've been skipping over words and all this other crap. But in reality, folks, the guy that you see here, you know, the name right here, he went on to the second round with Marie Le Pen. And what do I say? I call BS. I mean, that is just BS. But the cops say, hey, we'll investigate something. And now that guy and the other guy and Le Pen are now heading off to a runoff. I mean, and he's up by 20 points because they got sent ballots in there twice. But as I said in the last video, they may check it out. Not. They're that scared because they know what's gonna happen. It's all gonna come out, and they're all saying the Russians gonna involved in it too. Bunch of idiots. Anyway, here's the last article today here, and there's an article written by Clifford Cunningham. The title is called Socialist French Mayor Calls Le Pen Voters A-Holes, Threatens to Resign. Geographic divide might mirrors U.S. presidential election. Well, isn't that interesting? A French mayor threatens to resign after national frontrunner Marine Le Pen receives the most votes in his region, claiming his unwilling to devote his life to serving a-holes. Danielle Delhomes, the mayor of Ansad in the Passé de Calais department in northern France, expressed anger over frontrunner national leader Marine Le Pen for receiving nearly 39% of the vote in the region. It is likely that I will resign because I do not want to devote my life to serving a-holes, declared Delhomes, who has served as mayor of the Commune since 2008 as a member of the ruling Socialist Party. In the interview with the local newspaper, L'État de Alavos. Oh boy, there's more Frenchy words. And it goes on to say that many supporters are defeated far-left candidate John L. Marouk. I'm messing up the words. Have expressed their intentions to abstain from voting in the second round rather than waste their votes simply to keep the far right out of power. Wow. You know what? And for that crazy guy that basically said all that stuff, thanks for the no one, asshole. Yeah, there you go. Oh, there's my interest. There's my take on the subject right there. He's calling everybody an a-hole. Well, guess what, buddy? Takes one to know one. And guess what? You're the biggest a-hole around. Because that's all you support. That's all you're ever gonna be, buddy. And, technically, I hope Le Pen wins. If she doesn't, you're in trouble. The runoff here, what's happening in France is fierce, gonna be fierce. And with this moron a-hole of a guy basically cheating, which is kind of what it is, folks. I mean, basically, she's got her work cut out for her. Since we now just found out that basically, you know, they got sent two voting ballots or whatever. I'm like, what? Two? I mean, it's kind of hard to say. But that is cheating. And the cops say, oh, we may take it by that election. No, you won't. You won't do it. You make them win. But enough about that. That's all the articles I have for you today. If you'd like to read more about these articles, please go to the links below or go to Infowars.com or PrisonPlan.com. They can find hundreds of articles just like this one I have read for you today. This is the Infowars News Blitz. I'm Info Gunner, number 3. Please like, subscribe, and donate. Bye-bye.